Buenos días a todos en Argentina y buenas noches a los que nos acompañan hoy desde Filipinas. Este es una nueva sesión de Puentes con el Mundo, capítulo Filipinas, software y videojuegos. Filipinas es un mercado que resulta muy atractivo para los exportadores argentinos de software y videojuegos. Es un mercado que presenta características distintivas y un potencial para el desarrollo de negocios en una industria en la que la Argentina tiene gran experiencia y potencial exportador. Para nosotros, como siempre, desde ICBC y Fundación ICBC, es un placer poder participar en este ciclo de Puentes con el Mundo. Y bueno, vamos a comentarles un poquito del programa que tenemos hoy. Vamos a iniciar con las palabras de bienvenida del ministro Jorge Perren. Después, desde Filipinas, contamos con la presencia del embajador Ricardo Bocalandro, el secretario Gabriel Hernán Rivera de la sección comercial de la Embajada Argentina en Filipinas, que nos van a brindar un panorama general sobre Filipinas y el comercio bilateral. Y después contamos con la presentación de empresas que están en este sector en Filipinas, a las que les agradecemos mucho haberse sumado a este encuentro. El señor James Ronald Law, cofundador y presidente de la Game Developers Association of the Philippines, cofundador y CEO de la empresa Takilt Studios, el señor Schreber Yu, Chief Partner Officer de CBSN Perspective, que va a exponer sobre la feria de Philippine Game Dev Expo, PGDX, el señor Jonathan de Luzuriaga, presidente de la Philippine Software Industry Association, PSIA, y es el CEO de Spring Valley Tech. Y como siempre, vamos a tener un espacio para preguntas y respuestas que a lo largo del seminario, si ustedes quieren ir haciéndolas en la sección tanto de preguntas y respuestas o como en el chat, las vamos a ir respondiendo, o si no, bueno, al finalizar el encuentro, le vamos a dar el espacio para que puedan realizar estas preguntas. Muchísimas gracias a todos. Y bueno, le damos la palabra al ministro Jorge Perren. Jorge.
Buen día buenas tardes, dependiendo el uso horario. Emma, muchísimas gracias, como siempre, a vos y a la ICBC, Fundación ICBC, por brindarnos esta plataforma. Muchísimas gracias a todo el público que ya, para hacer un sector, un nicho bien específico, ya tenemos casi 40 participantes. Eh, Le quiero agradecer a todos los que van a exponer acá, especialmente del sector privado, y muy en particular a la embajada, al señor embajador Bocalandro, que fueron los que propusieron hacer este capítulo específico en este sector. Así que no quiero demorarme mucho más, solo quiero decir que en este ejercicio que estamos haciendo, retomando este ejercicio de Puentes con el Mundo desde agosto, en 12 capítulos ya hemos superado los 1000 participantes en vivo, ¿sí? Virtuales en vivo, asistiendo, y después más de casi 1300 participantes que lo han hecho a través de YouTube, viendo los videos del evento posteriormente, así que tiene una repercusión que creo que ha superado todas nuestras expectativas. Bueno, no quiero demorar más porque son muchos los que van a exponer, así que muchas gracias a todos y Emma, te paso de nuevo la palabra.
Gracias, Jorge. Le damos la palabra al embajador Ricardo Bocalandro.
Hola Emma, buenas noches. Hola Jorge, buenas noches queridos amigos. Good evening, our dear friends from the Philippines. Sorry, I will speak a little bit in Spanish to our friends in Argentina, but it's very important that I say hello to you. Good evening for all of you. Muchas gracias por esto. Es una alegría poder desarrollar esto. Ya lo hemos hecho muchos años atrás con Emma cuando yo era embajador en Indonesia, y estas son reuniones muy importantes y muy positivas. Voy a hablar muy poquito. Filipinas es un país muy grande, es parte del sudeste asiático. El sudeste asiático son 600 millones de personas con un crecimiento a gran velocidad. Filipinas es el país que más crece en el sudeste de Asia. Estamos hablando de 115 millones de personas con una economía muy fuerte en servicios, pero todo eso lo va a explicar Gabriel ahora en un ratito. a quien le agradezco toda la presentación y la preparación que les va a dar a todos ustedes. Quiero darles simplemente la bienvenida, decirles que por favor aprovechen. Nuestra idea es contactar la oferta y la demanda de determinados productos. Es el propósito de la Cancillería y para eso estamos acá. Espero que les venga bien todo lo que van a oír y que sea muy productivo, muy positivo para ustedes. Gracias, Emma, te devuelvo la palabra y lo dejo a sentar a Gabriel, que ahora va a hablar en nombre de la embajada.
Gracias, embajador. Bueno, Gabriel, todo tuyo.
Muy bien, voy a compartir pantalla. Bueno, ¿se ve? ¿Correcto?
A ver, ahí se está
Ujú.
compartiendo. Falta que aparezca el PowerPoint. Ahí va, perfecto.
Ahí, bien.
Sí,
Bueno, muchas gracias. Emma Fontanet, la licenciada Emma Fontanet, ministro PR, embajador Bocalandro. Bienvenidos y muchas gracias a nuestros invitados. Welcome to our guests, James Lowe, Joe Yu, and Jonathan de los Uriga, and a big thank you for your time and support. Comenzamos con algunos datos básicos de Filipinas. Con relación a su población, Filipinas contará con unos 113 millones de habitantes en 2025, según estimaciones de su agencia de estadísticas. Esos son 3.800.000 personas más que en 2020. Además, la población de Filipinas es joven, con una edad promedio de unos 25 años, y es bastante homogénea, ya que casi alrededor de 85% son católicos o de denominaciones cristianas. El PBI de Filipinas ronda los 485.000 millones de dólares a precios corrientes, y eso representa, si lo comparamos con su población, unos 4.300 dólares per cápita. Se destaca el sector servicios, que explica el 62% del PBI, con unos 273.000 millones de dólares. Y unos 13.000 millones de dólares corresponden a servicios de información y la comunicación. Con respecto al comercio exterior de bienes, Filipinas conserva un saldo deficitario con el mundo y con Argentina, y de hecho Filipinas exportó en 2023 alrededor de 74.000 millones de dólares. Argentina suele estar en unos 65.000 millones, pero importó 126.000 millones. Desde Argentina, Filipinas importa unos 383 millones de dólares y exporta hacia Argentina unos 86 millones. Eso deja un saldo superavitario para nuestro país de unos 300 millones de dólares. El 80% del comercio se explica por ventas de tortas de soja y por el maíz. Y actualmente, desde la embajada, estamos trabajando para la apertura del mercado filipino de carne argentina. Sumado todo el flujo comercial, la Argentina es el socio número 30 de Filipinas. Otros números macroeconómicos que se destacan por su relativa estabilidad son el tipo de cambio, que pasó de 44 o 41 pesos filipinos por dólar en 2013 a 55 57 a finales de 2023. La inflación se mantuvo en 2,4% en 2019 y 2020 y subió hasta 6% el año pasado, en línea con la inflación mundial. Un pequeño comentario sobre las exportaciones filipinas. Los principales productos de exportación son microprocesadores, microcontroladores, semiconductores, maquinaria eléctrica, unidades de memoria y otros productos, lo cual muestra que se trata de una economía diversificada y tecnificada, aunque con desigualdades igualmente. Si bien estos productos se fabrican en Filipinas y luego se exportan a países vecinos como insumos para otros productos más complejos, no deja de llamar la atención cómo este tipo de manufacturas demandan servicios de información. Otros indicadores que ayudan a entender a Filipinas: primero, la proporción de hogares con ciertos dispositivos y acceso a Internet. El Departamento de Tecnologías de la Información y Comunicación, de ICT, destaca que el aumento de dispositivos de hogares entre 2019 y 2022, sobre todo viendo el aumento en la prevalencia de celulares en los hogares. Con respecto al acceso a Internet, se ve el aumento en la cantidad de hogares con acceso a Internet en general y por tipo de conexión aquí. De hecho, el índice IDI, desarrollado por la Unión Internacional de Telecomunicaciones, mide la proporción de acceso a Internet en los hogares, usuarios de los últimos 3 meses, entre otros, y Filipinas refleja un aumento de 65 puntos sobre 100 a 74,4 en un año, en el último año. Argentina venía de 81,5 a 83,4. Sin embargo, A pesar de esta mejora, el 40% del archipiélago filipino tiene ciertas dificultades con acceso a Internet confiable y estable. Una de las industrias más importantes de Filipinas es el complejo IT-BPM, que es Tecnologías de la Información y Gestión de Procesos de Negocios, en inglés. Esta industria incluye servicios tales como contact centers, desarrollo de software y videojuegos, gestión de procesos en salud, y tercerización general de procesos, que son prestados a sectores como bancario, financiero, de seguros, y empresas tecnológicas, entre otros. Esta industria emplea a 1,5 millones de trabajadores a tiempo completo y genera ingresos por 32.000 millones de dólares, que es más o menos el 8% del PIB de Filipinas. Filipinas es el segundo proveedor de estos servicios, luego de India, que son vendidos principalmente a Estados Unidos y Canadá, y seguido por Europa con Reino Unido y Asia Pacífico, en línea con la tendencia global del friendshoring. Filipinas cuenta con ventajas que permiten aprovechar este mercado, y entre ellas se destacan la gran proporción de personas que hablan inglés nativo, considerable cantidad de instituciones educativas superiores, un fuerte apoyo de agencias de gobierno, un menor costo laboral con relación a mercados donde se exporta, y una gran diversidad de capacidades. Las agencias de gobierno involucradas son DICT, que es la del Departamento de Tecnologías de Información y Comunicación. Dentro de ella, esta oficina de desarrollo de industrias de TIC y el Departamento de Comercio e Industria. El marco general de apoyo a la innovación lo brinda la ley conocida como Philippine Innovation, en el cual se declara la innovación como componente vital del desarrollo nacional y del crecimiento. Dentro de este marco se encuentran programas orientados hacia el desarrollo de competencias, tales como aquellos destinados a industrias creativas, al desarrollo de talentos locales para IT-BPM y para mejorar capacidades profesionales. También aquellos que buscan mejorar la infraestructura. Por ejemplo, ARTA, que es el equivalente al Ministerio de Desregulación, logró bajar el tiempo que demanda una autorización de instalación de una torre de comunicaciones desde 250 días hasta aproximadamente 60 días. El Plan Nacional de Banda Ancha busca mejorar la disponibilidad y el precio de la conectividad, y otro crea una hoja de evaluación para comparar el atractivo de distintas ciudades para este tipo de complejos industriales, como de IBM. Por último, existe una veintena de programas de agencias que buscan apoyar y desarrollar capacidades específicas. Algunos ejemplos están acá, y uno de ellos es el apoyo a exposiciones, tales como la exposición de desarrolladores de videojuegos, VGDX, de la cual nos va a hablar más tarde uno de nuestros invitados. Si hablamos de exportación de servicios digitales, podemos remitirnos a los datos de la OMC, que son generalmente reportados por los propios estados. Según estos datos, podemos ver que Filipinas exportó 29.000 millones de dólares en 2023. En comparación, podemos ver que las exportaciones argentinas se encuentran acá en 7.600 millones de dólares, y estas son las importaciones de Filipinas y de Argentina. En cuanto a su composición, vemos que la mayor parte son servicios de negocios, acá, y la parte que nos interesa son Computer Services, que está acá, que son unos 6.200 millones de dólares exportados desde Filipinas. En proporción, podemos ver que representa el 21% de las exportaciones de estos servicios de Filipinas. Para Argentina representa un poco más, casi el 31%. Y en estos gráficos es las mismas categorías, pero ordenadas por valor de exportación. Algunas estimaciones de consultoras privadas calculan que el mercado de software en Filipinas, desde el punto de vista de las ventas, se ubicará en 933 millones de dólares en 2024, y la categoría que más se destaca es el software empresarial, seguido del desarrollo de aplicaciones. Y las proyecciones del mercado en los próximos 5 años las hacen llegar más o menos hasta 1.400 millones de dólares. Acá vemos los mismos datos sin apilar, y el crecimiento de las dos primeras categorías, el software empresarial y aplicaciones, se ve acá. Por otro lado, la industria del desarrollo de videojuegos, según datos del Departamento de Comercio e Industria, tiene a disposición unos 10.900 trabajadores profesionales con diversas capacidades, y el DTI busca fomentar esta industria y llevarle unos 20.000 millones de dólares hacia 2030. La principal ventaja de Filipinas se enfoca en la etapa de producción, especialmente en estos servicios de animación y arte 2D, 3D, ilustración de personajes, captura de movimiento y producción de sonido y musical. En efecto, por etapas de la vida de un proyecto, el desarrollo, la preproducción y el lanzamiento están dominadas por empresas más extranjeras y la producción, la mencionamos, y el testeo tiene ciertas ventajas. De eso nos van a hablar más adelante. Desde el punto de vista de las ventas, hay datos que estiman que el mercado de videojuegos puede ser de unos 2.100 millones de dólares en 2024. Y sobresale los juegos móviles. Y se explica por la mayor presencia de celulares en los hogares, pero también a nivel individual. DICT estima que 85 millones de filipinos están en línea y 62 millones juegan o han jugado alguna vez. 27 millones pagan por juegos y gastan unos 32 dólares. Es por ello que hemos invitado a nuestros oradores de hoy, a quienes agradecemos su disposición. Thank you very much. I give the floor to our guests from GDAP, PSIA, CBZ, and PESO, to whom we extend our gratitude and their support for being here with us today. Thank you very much.
Hello, everyone. Many thanks for having us today. Good evening from Manila. I will be sharing my slide shortly. So, there you go. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Thank you for confirming. So, yeah. Hello again. My name is James, and I'm here to present and to talk about the Game Developers Association of the Philippines. So, a bit about myself. I've been in the game industry for almost 2 decades. I make games, and I've been in the creative industry for quite a bit of time, and I have been involved in many things, from game development to animation to graphic design, advertising, architecture, and so on. The Game Association has been around since 2007. And our main role is to grow the industry in the Philippines. This is the current board of directors, as you can see. And we grow the industry through establishing 4 pillars and growing those pillars as we move forward. So the first pillar is equip. This means that we work a lot with academic institutions, the universities, to make sure that they have the proper curriculum, they use it, they practice it, and to make sure that their students have places where they can join, that they can take internships from or training, and also for their graduates to have jobs once they actually leave college. We also help budding entrepreneurs, young entrepreneurs who want to start their own studios by providing them with mentorship and guidance so that they can help grow more studios in the Philippines. The other pillar, the second pillar, is to establish means to practice what they've learned. This means that we go around and look for either go outside of the country to bring in investments and possible clients and partners to engage with our studios, and also organize events that are local, so that we can attract local talent and be able to showcase their talents to people who visit these events. We also have the reward pillar, which is to provide them credibility by giving studios awards through our awards night called Game Awards. So we showcase the best of the best that the Philippine studios can do, and give them the proper award for it, so that they can again have that credibility. And lastly, the fourth pillar is to commune. We organize events that basically connect a lot of players and in the industry stakeholders, so they can meet, discuss, network, and update each other, and basically collaborate in terms of how to navigate the industry. The Philippines, in terms of skill sets in the game development aspect. We're very skilled on the production side. Typically, a lot of our clients who we service, they're all international. And what they do is they do a lot of collaboration and outsourcing to us. Essentially, we built a number of games of the world. So they send the production to us. But typically, the development, the idea generation, concept development, pre-production is done overseas. They send it over to us to produce. We would develop the games. We would develop the art assets, the animations, and all of those things. Which obviously from there, based on that, in terms of experience, we have a lot of, and we're very good at it. And then we do a bit of testing. And then afterwards, it's launching goes back to the clients, to our partners. So it is important to note that what we do here is, while yes, the Philippines is very good at production and typically for clients and partners, there's also a strong push, especially now, to develop our own original IP. Our push is to bring more talented teams together, give them opportunities to develop their own games, independent games, and bring them out to market internationally. So hopefully, the next time we have this discussion, our development and pre-production skills rating are actually better. That they improve. So, but as mentioned, we do a lot of the games of the world. So and typically on the art side. So we're very creative. We do a lot of environments, character animations, and such. And these are just some of the titles of some of our members. What you see here is typically on the AAA side, on the console side of gaming, but we also develop a lot of mobile games, desktop games, as well as browsers. And as discussed earlier, we service different parts of the world. 55% of the work that we normally receive from international markets are from North America, the United Kingdom, and the rest of Asia Pacific. They're more or less the same in terms of the amount of work that we do. It also makes sense to note that there has been a big push in terms of connecting more with the UK and Europe. So I expect these numbers to change a bit, simply because there has been more engagements in the past 3 years with Europe. So this is a chart of the games in the number of studios that we have as members in the association. It has doubled over the past 3 years. This means that there are more and more companies that are seeing the opportunities in game development, and that they have moved forward in terms of exploring the opportunities in the space. So there's more and more of this, and we expect this to grow further in the next few years. In terms of membership, almost 70% of our members are studios. And these are typically studios that develop their own games, but typically the majority of them would be developing projects for other clients. Over 30% of them are academics, universities. And then less than 2% are affiliate members. So these are more of the support companies that provide software or hardware to the industry. And we service the entire Philippines. We have started developing different branches of the association in different parts of the Philippines. This is a bit outdated though, because we have increased the number of branches to 5 over the past 3 years. So in the others we have engaged, the other parts of the Philippines we have engaged. And we expect to grow the industry further by establishing these branches of the association in these parts of the Philippines, so that we're all more interconnected and networked. There are a lot of different regions that already teach the game development as a college course, which includes programming, design, quality assurance, and art, animation, both 2D and 3D. And these are some of our members. They have different specializations. and they typically service different markets. And these are some of our studios that are on the university side. Now, a bit of numbers based on the analytics, our trajectory in terms of the number of headcount, the number of people that we would be employing in the industry are growing. So currently, based on our count, we're just around 4,000 people inside the industry, but we expect this to grow in the next few years to possibly hit beyond 10,000. And as discussed, we do organize a number of different events that basically facilitate the growth of the industry. This is Philippine Game Dev Expo, but I won't share that much about this industry simply because the next speaker, Jobert of CBZN, will be speaking more about this. But essentially, this is the premier game-related industry that we have in the Philippines. I will pass this. Yeah, I'll skip this. And then we also have another event that is more business to business focused, which is the Game Dev Summit. This happens early in the year. Now, a bit of numbers. We in terms of revenue, we have $818 million worth of spend. This is but essentially the Philippines is a gaming market. We are number 23 in terms of rank, in terms of revenue, and we have over 58 million players. Bottom line, in the Philippines, there's a big market for mobile games. There's second to that would be PC games, and very, very little on the console side. Most purchases are all in game. Digital downloads are below 10% and subscriptions even less. In terms of games, the most popular are arcade games, down to adventure games as a least most number of players in terms of popularity. So we like our arcade games, we like strategy and role playing. And in terms of games that are very, very popular here in the Philippines, Mobile Legends Bang Bang is very, very popular. I would say not just in the Philippines, but around the world. Roblox, Call of Duty, Minecraft, and Clash of Clans are not far away. It is the same in terms of the number of the percentages of the games that are played in the Philippines reflect as well on the amount of money that is spent on these games. Okay. We have different payment methods. The Philippines the Filipinos have credit cards and other options in terms of paying for games. The most popular here would be GCash and PayPal. There are a number of different services. On top of this, other companies like Razer Gold, Exola, and similar companies actually provide this type of service for people. So it's very, very easy to monetize your a number of different products because the system's already there. In terms of distribution, it is very easy as well, simply because we make use of the same distribution points like Google Play, Apple iTunes, itch, and Steam. Typically are the most popular distribution points for games in terms of accessing these games by local players. In terms of game development, it's very, very close. Male and female, they're typically players. So typically different types of games work well with different genders. As you could expect, most gamers are engaged typically from the ages 18 to 44, and as it tapers down, the gaming changes. Yep. Moving on. So I see a number of differences in terms of possible collaborations that would likely be able to explore. I believe between Argentina and the Philippines, there are opportunities for co-development and outsourcing, possibly doing cultural exchange and storytelling, education and training programs. So a number of our studio members, university members, are actually very keen on this. bringing students over to a different country to learn there and vice versa. Also bringing mentors and teachers to another country and vice versa. So there's a lot of exchange and learning. It is also possible to explore explore a different market by expanding there. So if we the our Philippine studios develop games to market, perhaps we can actually help bring and work together in terms of bringing games into the Argentinian market, and and vice versa. We can also explore bringing Argentinian-made games to the Philippines. Yes, there's also opportunities for funding and investment. A number of our studios are very keen on expansions, welcoming external studios into the country, as well as possible joint ventures and even co-developing opportunities to access grants and support. Plus, of course, creating a network and community is a big plus for us. So very similar to what we're doing in Southeast Asia and a bit of Asia. There's currently a group of a network of game development associations based in this part of the world, wherein we're all bonding and joining together so that we're able to communicate and do these things as they said with each other. So that is it. Thank you very much for allowing me to share with you information about my industry, and I'm ending this now. Thank you.
Thank you very much, James, for your presentation, and also for all the suggestions that you already gave to the Argentine companies. And it's a great opportunity to have such very clear information. That's one of the things that we always want to emphasize of these meetings. So thank you very much for taking the time, and thank you very much for sharing all your knowledge with us. Right now, we are going to have the presentation of Mr. Robert Yu, Chief Partner Officer of CBSN Perspective. Robert?
Good morning. Yes, hello. Good morning, everyone. My name is Jobert. And thank you very much again for Gabriel and Argentina for having me here. So as James mentioned a while ago, I wanted to talk about the events that I do. So I want to, instead of showing presentation, I want to show videos instead. So if it's okay with you, I'll share my screen. Okay. Okay. Here we go. So I'm not a game developer, but I love games. Ever since I was a little, I play games, and I wanted to involve. So I don't have any knowledge of creating games, but in terms of organizing events, that's what I love to do. So before I show you the current event that we're doing, I want to show you some past event that I did. So just here to show you. So this is an event I organized back in 2014. It's called the Esports and Gaming Summit, or ESGS. So I just want to show you a couple of seconds here for this event. So I started doing events back when I was in 2012, doing mall events and such. And this is one of the first time I did an event in a convention area. So that's me, as you can see. This is in 2014. The first one I did in a convention. So yeah, okay. Just okay. So anyways, move past that. So the highlight of that is this one in 2019. So this was one of my pinnacle. When I say pinnacle, from that time we had around 8,000 people, consumers, and from this event we had around 42,000 people who went, and by this time we had game companies from Nintendo and such were able to participate in the Philippines, as you can see here, and a lot of hardware and such. So ESGS is purely a B2C event, as you can see here in this video. So there. Okay. So I'll stop it right now. Here we go. So after doing this ESGS thing, I left the company and I worked with CBCN. Mainly CBCN is an event is a one-stop business solution. But one of the pillars we do in CBCN is events also. So I talked to James before back in 2022 of December about, hey, why don't we do something in events together with GDAP. So together we did this event called the Philippine Game Dev Expo. So if ESGS is a B2C event, GDX is B2B/B2C event. So as you can see here from this video. Basically, this is our it's kind of like your event in Argentina, the Exposition de Videojuegos. Yes, EVA. Yes. Yes, correct. So this is our event, B2B/B2C event. So we started this last year, the first one, and then this is the second year, and the one that we're showing you now is our second year event. So from 18,000 people of B2B, in terms of B2C, we got around 25,000 people, and yes, and we're able to generate at least 200 to 300 people in the business side of things. So this is the B2C area. Okay, so and then sorry sorry and then so when we did last year, we had a business area that's part of the B2C, but this time we created the B2B on its own area. So this is the start of what we did. So we had around 19 companies, local and international companies, had we had them here, and we had not just local, but yeah, we had some international companies also exhibit, so they were able to talk to some of the developers in the Philippines as well. So we also had a workshop in your usual B2B setup here. There you go. And there you go. So moving forward, so one of the highlights of the PGDX event, and what I always wanted is to give out presentation for the indies. So in our event, we call it the Indie Game Stars. And I don't know if there's a Guinness Book of Record, but for this event, we were able to showcase 104 indie games, 90% local, with 10% there are international. So we were very surprised because we didn't primarily promote this international, but because of word of mouth, because of our guests last year, and we were able a lot of there were some international developers that showcase also at this event. So yes, there you go. There you go. And lastly, of course, nothing it's not complete without your usual B2B night. So we also have our own gaming mixer. We call it gaming mixer night. And yeah, so just after the event, right, you want to chill out and something. So here are all our exhibitors, all our special guests, all our developers, and friends from the industry, able to chill out and such. So yeah. So PGDX happens in July. So tentatively next year we plan to do this also on the same dates. July, tentatively around July 25 to 27 of next year. And the way I see it is I want to reach out to all the event organizers or events around the world to partner up and such. So in this event, if you saw some of the videos, we were able to partner up with such events such as Taipei Game Show, Tokyo Game Show, and Gamescom Asia. So we wanted to reach out to different events, and if ever the EVA, the Argentines video game, if possible, we can work out something. So we want just to promote our event in your event, at the same time promote your event in our event. And also for the indies, we want to reach out, as I mentioned to Gabriel before. We want to provide spaces for the Argentina indie game developers out there, in case you want to showcase your games, and if ever to reach out to other international guests that we have. because we were very happy that that there were some publishers that went to PGDX, and they were able to talk to some of the indie developers that we have, and they were able either to publish their games or at least invest in their games and such. So we wanted to provide the same opportunity if ever. As I mentioned, our indie game area is free actually. We just we will just announce it in January, and anyone is free to register. And if your game is chosen, we will provide you a free space in PGDX. So that's the whole point of is we want to, and also to build the B2B ecosystem in the Philippines. In terms of B2B, we want to expand more. We want to reach out more so that we can have a complete. When I say complete, it's in terms of B2B and B2C, in terms of B2C and B2B as well. And hopefully one day we can be, those events, like the E3, the Gamescom, the Tokyo Game Show, the China Joy and such. So there. So again, thank you very much for your for this time.
Thank you, Joel, for sharing with us your experience, the events that looks amazing, and also for inviting the Argentine companies to be part of them. Right now, we are going to have the presentation of Mr. Jonathan Luzuriaga. He's the president of the Philippine Software Industry Association. Jonathan.
Buenos días. Mi nombre is Jonathan Defensor de Luzuriaga, and that's pretty much all the Spanish that I have. So let me now revert back to English. I am representing the Philippine Software Industry Association, the oldest industry association in the ICT sector. We've been around for more than 35 years. We came together as a group, most especially during the turn of the century, because of this thing called the Y2K scare. So the entire world was basically very fearful of the fact that computers would not translate the 1999 over to 2000, and that gave birth to a very strong software industry in the Philippines, because the Philippines was tapped by other geographies and countries, most especially coming from North America, for its software development support. So I'm also the head of a local tech company called Spring Valley, which aims to be the Silicon Valley of the Philippines. So we're developing a very large portion of property just for research and development and for developing some of the newer technologies that are coming out. But a little bit of trivia. I should suppose that I could have done this presentation in full Spanish, because there was a time in the Philippines wherein Spanish was actually part of our curriculum in college. But sometime in the 1990s, it was actually taken out. It's a little bit sad, because then, it would have given me the opportunity to do this. But right now, please bear with me, because those are the only Spanish words that I actually know. So allow me to continue with my presentation. The Philippine Software Industry Association is composed of about 142 members, the biggest of the big and the smallest of the small in terms of software and technology companies are part of my community. So there's basically about 3 or 4 companies that make up about 70% of the entire activity of the industry. Among them, Accenture, IBM, Hewlett-Packard, more or less, they're the biggest operators in the Philippines. For Accenture alone, they're the largest employer of computer science and information technology graduates in the Philippines. There's about 78,000 strong workforce that's operating here in the country today. Some of the things that we actually do here is from service desk to maintenance to asset management to remote work for IT operations management. We have a little bit of data center operations, but the bulk of what we do here in the country is actually in applications development and maintenance, mostly in terms of application development, deployment, and then application conversion integration, as well as the maintenance support that comes afterwards. Here's a snapshot of the performance of the industry by end of 2023. So there's about 180,000 software developers that are employed. It has produced such tremendous numbers for our country, contributing to the nation's gross domestic product to the tune of about 5.8 billion US dollars. We are number 2 to India when it comes to IT services, but we are very far number 2. So such is the lay of the land when it comes to software services. India is probably producing about 35 billion US dollars. The Philippines is just producing about 5.8 billion US dollars, but we are number 2, which means that there's a lot of other smaller players, which I am very much aware that Argentina also produces very, very good, strong software developers. Hopefully that could be part of the ecosystem that we would like to establish, as well as the friendship and the synergy that we could establish after this meeting. There's about 190,000 number of STEM graduates way back 2021, and slowly but surely, computer science, computer engineering, and information technology has become a very, very popular academic discipline here in the Philippines. The Philippines having a very, very young workforce in population. The average age is about 24. Obviously, I'm not part of that demographic. I haven't been 24 years old for a very long time. And again, most of what we do here is mostly in traditional application development, application maintenance, modern application development, as well as quality assurance and testing. From the IT infrastructure side, the Philippines is strongly transitioning and creating a lot of talent in terms of cloud. Everything transitioning over to digital means that there are several things that are being focused on. One of them is actually in terms of cloud. Second one is in terms of cybersecurity. Our focus really is the customer centricity and the hospitable nature of the Philippines. As I think this is without any contention from any other parties, but the Philippines has become the contact center capital of the world. Basically, every call center in the world is operating in the Philippines. But the lesser known secret is that we could also do relatively strong software development and information technology projects. There's a lot of product and solutions focused service delivery coming from the Philippines. And we are hoping that our target of 9.58 billion US dollars by 2028 is going to be achieved. And if you very well noticed, even the numbers that James presented more or less ends by 2028. Why? We are following a roadmap called Roadmap 2028, which is apples to apples with the term of the President of the Republic, so that every time there's going to be a changing of the guards, we come up with a new strategy, with a new approach in growing our respective industries. And obviously, we could not do this without the help of government. We're very happy that the Embassy of Argentina has given us this opportunity to probably develop new markets as well as new partners in our quest to achieve our very aggressive numbers in achieving Roadmap 2028. I'm going to keep this very short and sweet, and I'm going to admit to one thing. I sought the help of artificial intelligence in actually creating this presentation. And when you type in what could be the possible synergies and partnerships between Argentina and the Philippines, it came up with 7 items. I was hoping that football would also be part of this, but unfortunately, it's not. So I have to be satisfied with the 7 items in front of us. First, the vanilla flavored outsourcing and offshoring. I know that Argentina is also a very strong nearshore option for clients that usually outsource to other countries. And hopefully we could establish more partnerships between companies and also within associations, so that we could make the transition as well as the exchange of business more seamless. There's a strong move from the Philippine government to transition into an e-government and digital platform. And I know that there's very compelling software coming from Argentina as well that might help us in terms of helping our government achieve this particular transition. Then, of course, there's educational exchanges and tech talent. Aside from the events that my two companions from the Philippines have also highlighted, we just recently concluded 2 weeks ago SoftCon, which is the biggest gathering of IT and software professionals in the Philippines. It usually happens every October. We will be sure that for next year, we will be inviting our friends from Argentina to attend, and hopefully we could have some showcase of the different technologies that are coming from your nation as well. There's remote work and cross-cultural practices. The pandemic has taught us one thing, that digital business could be done anywhere. So James is actually in Siargao right now. In Siargao, just a little bit of context, is the surfing capital of the Philippines. Yes, there's a little bit of surfing in my country. And I envy him because he's probably beside the beach while he was doing the presentation, while I'm locked up here in my room. And the next one is actually software development and tech in terms of creating products and platforms. The sad reality about my particular industry, and I'm not going to speak for game development and for the gaming sector, is that 95% of what we do in the Philippines is really very services oriented. If you look at the history of my country, it tells a different story. We've been under the Spaniards for 400 years. We've been under the US for 50 years, and we've been under the Japanese for a handful of years during the war. That makes a very subservient culture. That's why we're always very open when it comes to servicing other nations. But what we oftentimes forget is we need to create our own as well and change our way of life by using the talent of the Filipinos. And hopefully our partnership with Argentina would help lead us there. Aside from the fact that maybe you could help the Philippine national team get into the World Cup, but that's a different story altogether. The next is cybersecurity training as well as data. There's a lot of discussion, most especially in the cybersecurity space, about porting of data and exchanging of data. There's a lot of sensitivities around that. And conversations like this would definitely help in clearing the air as far as data exchanges go. And last but not the least, I know that that Argentina is a powerhouse when it comes to agribusiness. The Philippines is still first and foremost an agricultural country. And hopefully we could exchange technology and knowledge on that particular space as well. Again, I'm going to just briefly go through my company, which is Spring Valley. We aim to be the Silicon Valley of the Philippines, and our three-pronged approach is pretty much aligned with the industry association's goals as well. And this is to support various industries in digital transformation. This has been escalated mostly after 2020, after the pandemic, that everything that was once offline is now going online. And thank goodness that we have a very strong software sector here that is helping even local companies do that transition. We also aim to design, develop, and deploy game-changing platforms and applications that will create something aligned to our mantra, which is technology for good. And last but not the least is we would like to empower startups, especially those in the Philippine countryside, to be the best version of themselves. With that, I'd like to say muchas gracias again to the Embassy of Argentina. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Jonathan, for your presentation. Well, I think that we already have, you know that we always have an issue with these events, is that the time is too short and the information is too much and very accurate. Thank you very much for all your presentation, for all the information that all the people from Philippines has already, and the companies and the experts has already shared with us. And I don't know, Ambassador, if you want to close this meeting. We had some questions that have already been answered. I saw it in the chat here, and of course that we always say that the presentations and the contacts and this video will be shared once we finish the the seminar, we send the presentations and the videos and the information that you have already shared with us. We send to the people that has been participating here, and also some people that sometimes, as Jorge mentioned, cannot be present here. They see the video through YouTube. So I don't know, Ambassador, if you want to close with some words or.
Yes. Thank you very much. And this is to express our gratitude to all the people who has been involved in this preparation. It's been excellent from every point of view. I'm very happy that the Filipino friends and also the embassy have been able to convey to Argentina all the potential for businesses that exist. So thank you very much, dear friends. Y muchas gracias a todos los amigos argentinos que están del otro lado. Ojalá puedan continuar en contacto con las empresas filipinas que han hablado. Es muy importante tener presente el potencial que esta región del mundo tiene. Hoy, Sudeste de Asia es el centro del mundo y cada vez lo es más. Entonces, no nos durmamos en los laureles de pensar solamente con Estados Unidos y Europa. Hay mucho más en el mundo y tienen que estar por acá. Bueno, Emma, gracias como siempre, tu trabajo impresionante. Gracias a todos los que han trabajado. Ha sido un placer poder llevarles esta presentación. Thank you very much again, my dear friends, Jonathan, James, and Robert, and Jobert. It's been a pleasure. Excellent presentation. Thanks a lot. Muchas gracias a todos.
Gracias, embajador. Y bueno, Jorge, vamos cerrando entonces, teniendo en cuenta el horario. Y bueno, y los invitamos a nuestro próximo encuentro del martes que viene. Y de vuelta, agradecer también por la calidad de la información. Es una cuestión que siempre destacan las empresas que participan. Y bueno, entendemos que esta es una muy buena herramienta para empezar a iniciar estos contactos que se puedan desarrollar. ¿Cerrás vos, Jorge?
Bueno, Emma, muchísimas gracias. Un par de conceptos que me parece que es importante destacar. Creo que ha quedado muy claro que las posibilidades de asociatividad entre el sector privado argentino y filipino son enormes. Que le quiero agradecer muy especialmente a la Embajada por su presentación, pero también sobre la elección de los amigos filipinos que realmente han hecho unas exposiciones súper interesantes. Yo quiero invitar a los participantes que están oyendo o viendo este webinar de hoy, que tal vez no pudieron participar del capítulo que se hizo el mes pasado de software con Panamá, a que si les resulta interesante puedan verlo por YouTube, el capítulo ese. Creo que también es súper interesante en la otra parte, en otro hemisferio del mundo, pero con una realidad también que promete muchas cuestiones de cómo asociarse con nuestro sector privado. Y también los invito a todos los participantes a que, pensando ya en los puentes con el mundo del año que viene, estamos retomando idealmente ya a mediados de marzo, si les interesa en este sector en particular de software y videojuegos, más específicamente, algún mercado en particular, que nos lo hagan saber para hablar con nuestra representación y ya poder ir planificando un evento similar. Muchísimas gracias a todos y nos vemos en el próximo Puentes.
Muchas gracias. Thank you very much.